like I had a conversation with a woman in my family who lives in New York City, and I explained to her that some of the toxic stuff that we're seeing against Jews was being advocated by Democratic Party activists in New York City. And she said, I don't believe that. Okay, like that is because there's this ideological view, just as many people have on the left and the right, where they say, I'm with the good guys and the other guys are the bad guys, right? And people will do that on the left and they'll do it on the right, and they sort of demonize the other side in a way. It's totally irrational. It's completely wrong. But you have to understand that.
But Daniel, do you not agree?
Hold on, Pepe. Hold on. So Daniel, you went around the block. I hear you. But if I look at the numbers, I'm 60 years old. 7 out of every 10 Jews in that small number, 2%, vote Democratic.
How many black people vote for the Democratic Party?
Excuse me, sir.
No. How many black people vote for the Democratic Party?
Probably 90%.
Okay.
90%. But you're missing our. Hold on.
So you're telling me
excuse
that
me,
somehow
Daniel, let him go, Daniel. Get it.
Yeah, I'm just trying to make sure that we're on the same page here. Okay? I'm saying to you, based on education, based on the people in our colleges, tenured professors, okay? You can't look at the black community and say that they're doing that, okay? That's not happening, okay? 7 out of 10 Jews right now vote Democratic. You can also throw blacks in there because they all think they're a minority class. For me, that's a problem because that group of people has said many times that they do not believe in America, that they want to tear it down. They want to rebuild it. This is true, okay? And if you say a lot of them love America, that 3% does. The three people of Jewish descent who vote for America, they love America. If I vote for something, even though I know it's wrong, that's why I don't vote Democratic, because I don't think they're trying to help black people. I don't think they're trying to help Jews. I think they really have an ideology that wants to destroy the West.
But Edward, you brought up a good point because they are okay. This is like if you look at after the 2020 election, this is where we've seen in this court afterwards anti-Semitism really like take off. Now, I kind of disagree with you. That, like, yes, a lot of the radical leftism in the United States was, they were Jews. I agree, but I can look at Milton Friedman, who, Reagan, Ronald Reagan. Everybody was proud to say they're a Reagan Republican. We can look at Barry Goldwater. We can look at a lot of Jews on the opposite side. It's just with me. You have to understand, and this is my opinion. Without Jews, which is really weird, because they're only 2% of the population, I think our country would look a lot different. Like, imagine the United States without Hollywood. Just think of because they founded Hollywood. Okay, they were kind of pushed out from, doing a lot of other shit originally in the United States. They ended up doing something super successful that fundamentally changed the world. That is profound, and that every other culture tries to copy it now. It's like Jews have had, I would say, a profound impact on both good and bad in the United States, and just like as we, us non-Jews, we've had a profound impact, both good and bad, in the United States. It's to me, I think it's a little maybe it's a little unfair just to add, because they tend to vote more Democrat than not, especially looking at where the vast majority of them live, like on the eastern and western seaboards, where most white Gentiles tend to vote fucking Democrat also. Tell me the difference between Chuck Schumer and Nancy Pelosi or Bill de Blasio. I don't know the fucking difference. I mean, they're literally...
They hate America. Pepe.
Here's
Yeah,
a better question. What platform do we have to offer aside from state platforms when they're looking at other political parties? Our national party does not have a platform. The Democrats do. And it becomes a case of they have something and we have nothing. We have a 5-paragraph essay which says Donald Trump is awesome and we should do what he wants to do. That's not a platform.
We have become the party of retards. I 100% agree. The right, when it comes to institutional capture in universities and in the media, or particularly like new legacy media, we do have a problem, and this is something that is. We can look at the average education of even if we're just looking at like white people, for example. Once you get to bachelor's degree or above, and then you start getting like your master's, PhD level, they're generally more voting Democrats. We do like. And this is something where like the alt-right makes fun of right-wingers in general all the time. There's a glaring fucking difference when it comes to legitimacy and education. Like, we don't have William F. Buckley's anymore. I mean, who do we actually have that is like a genius from the right? Thomas Sowell, maybe, but he's, I mean, what is he, in his fucking 90s?
He's still brilliant, Pepe. He's still alive. I mean, what you want?
He is.
But Pepe is right that we don't have any intellectual heavyweights of our own. The guys
which is true.
Heavyweights are not intellectual heavyweights. They're intellectual
but see,
lightweights and midweights.
But Marshall, this is what I say. It's very interesting. Guys, do you know the difference between the right and the left? Do you know the difference? The right fights evil. The left do not.
Well,
that's why we don't get it. Hold on, Pepe. That's why we don't get it. We don't get it.
I really gotta sort of, finish this conversation with you by saying the following, which is that you're doing.
Hang tight, Edward. Hold on, just a second. I think what Daniel wants to do is finish what he was saying when you interjected before.
Yeah.
And then Pepe didn't allow that, so let's just let him finish before we move too far away, and then you jump right in with what you're saying.
What you're doing right now is exactly what the left does to the right, which says that they're the bad guys, and the conservatives fight evil, and the Democrats support. I mean, like, it's so cartoonish, man. And I have to be honest with you. When Hillary Clinton went out in front of the country and said half the country is deplorables, that was the single dumbest thing that a politician has said in America in decades. Okay, and you were now saying the exact same thing she did about roughly half the country. You're not taking
Daniel,
account the fact.
I wish you would hear me. I'm sorry, Daniel. I'm sorry. I did not say half the country. I said we fight evil. Do you know the difference? I fight evil on the right and the left. Don't give me that, man. You're not listening to I did not pick on any people group. I said we fight evil. That covers the whole span of the planet. Every part of the globe.
I still think what you're saying is preposterous, because you're saying that there's no one on no one to the left of you that.
Well, Edward always gave us shit in the right wing rooms, and would no, I'm serious. He would tell us how immoral our positions were all the time in right wing spaces, and I mean all the time.
What I hear when he's speaking is that he thinks that the only people who fight evil are on the right, and I just don't care. Like, it's such a nonsensical statement.
Daniel, I know, but Daniel, could you please give me one thing right now that you can
can you let him finish his point?
I just want to finish. Okay, so let me just finish. Okay, you have made a claim that somehow the Jewish community, because of academia, has some sort of outsized, relationship to the outcomes of the far left specifically. And there are some Jews on the left. That is 100% true. Okay, there are Jews in academia, but the Jews that you're talking about that have the loony views is like a group within a group within a group. I totally reject what you're saying. It's totally nonsensical. It speaks to the fact that you don't actually know the range of Jews that have existed in academia and what their professional, British academic skills have been and what